Okay, so what is my story? This is Dave Knight here. I thank you for watching this video because I think you're going to learn a lot more about me and where I am and where I'm going to be, where I am, where I want to be at this point, and then where I'm going. We're talking about a guy that has bankrupted twice. That's not something I'm very proud of. I've been married 3 times now, and my first wife lasted 2 years, 2 months. Second wife, 2 years, 2 months. But my third wife, I finally got it right. And do I really want to share this with you? Do I really want to share all the dirty, dark secrets that I have in my life? And I don't know. I don't know if I want to put this one up on YouTube, but I want to continue to move forward. Then I met the love of my life, Janice, and we've been married 12 years now, and we've known each other for 15. And I can say to you with my whole heart that I'm happy and honored that I've met the best woman that's ever been and met in my life. And I guess I had to go through struggles in the married life to understand what a good woman's all about. And that was a struggle for me to just get to the point. And my boys, at some point in the future, I want to tell my kids that I had, or am I don't know. You wonder about what to tell your children. My boys, Sean and Brennan, are what makes my life, my why I get up in the morning, and why I move forward in each and every day. And my wife, and I'm one of those guys that I hate working for the man. I've never been good at keeping a job. The best job I ever had was with Federated Investors as a trader. And I loved that lifestyle for a long period of time in my life. And I made a lot of money as a trader, and I lost a lot of money as a trader. So I'm like the Apostle Peter or Paul, whoever said it. He said that he's lived with a lot and he's lived with a little, but I always like to say I like to live with a lot better. Life's not been easy, and life is not easy right now. Currently, our family, because of my anxiety, I thought I was having a heart attack at the age of 44. And I was 43 getting ready to turn 44. I'm 46 now. And what they ended up diagnosing me with was an anxiety and depression. So I was working my own business called Knight Capital Management at the time, and you can actually find out my YouTube channel was called Trade Craze, and I still have it, and I built up a pretty good subscriber base, and I was living the life that I thought I was enjoying living, but I actually burned out trying to run my own business. And in year 3, it could have went one way or the other, and it unfortunately went down. And that's when I filed my second bankruptcy and I've made things that I'm ashamed of. My wife, we had to stop paying bills. We're behind on our house payment right now. We're looking at making home affordable so that we can live in our house. Let me make it very clear right now. I'm living in this house, but it's not my home. My home is where my wife and my 2 children reside, along with my dog. My dog is 16 years old. I have a Shiba Inu, and she's 16 now. She got me through a lot of hard times when my second wife left. There was 3 things that my second wife wouldn't let me have: beer in the house, Levi's, and a dog. And the first 3 things that I got after she left, my second woman of my life leaving me, I got a dog. Well, actually, I got a case of beer first. Then I went and got Levi's, a pair of Levi's. I had Levi's when I was a kid growing up, but we couldn't get Levi's when I was married because she was accountant mentality, kept track of every penny. Now, trust me, I love her, in a sense that I wish her all the best, but we weren't compatible. Get me? And now that I understand my life, she said the best thing she ever said to me was, David, you're going to find someone that really likes you in life and is going to really love you. And you don't see that right now, but you're going to find that person that's going to come into your life that you're going to be able to spend the rest of your life with. It's not going to be me, though. And I hated her for that for a long time. Well, not a long time. Maybe about 6 months to 7 months. And I was kind of one of those stalker type of individuals, trying to do anything I could to get her back in my life, because honest to God, I didn't want to fail again in a marriage. And that what's kept me single for a long time after that. Even after I met Janice, my love of my life, I stayed single for 3 years before I actually married her, because I didn't want to screw up again. I didn't want to. And then, I wondered when I got married to her, would she stick around? Would she make it past 2 years and 2 months? Does anyone have the ability to stay with me that long? And then I thought, well, to make both marriages work and get past both of them, then she needs to stay with me 4 years and 4 months. And she broke past that barrier too. And now, 12 years later, we're still married. She says sometimes, I always love you, I just don't like you sometimes. And it's a tough situation sometimes, but, we know that we're going to grow old together, or hopefully. We don't know only God knows our days. Our days are numbered in heaven, my spiritual belief tells me that. But, my two boys are the reason that I get up. I have a 10-year-old and I have an 8-year-old, and Lord help me, I do not want to treat them the way that my dad treated me growing up. Wasn't the best of relationships, and even to this day, my brothers and I still have kind of a competitive spirit between each other, when I wish we could just all get along. I don't know how we can resolve some of the issues, but I hope in lifetime that my brothers and I can be best friends again, and find that place that we can all get along and get along with each other. Because my mother's still living. She was the glue that held the family together. Honest to goodness, coming from a type of environment and my dad was a good man, don't get me wrong. He was a great provider. I never lacked for anything. I had what I consider two lives. I had a life before I got married my first time. And with that life, I had been to Hawaii 3 times. I got to Europe and Italy and France. And I knew what it's like to live with a lot. I got my own Camaro at 16. Brand new spanking Camaro. How many people in your lifetime can you say, wow? But then, I saw what happened to him as he progressed up the corporate ladder, and how they just hung him to dry. And it was, I thought, that's not the kind of lifestyle I want to lead. And the young me that was at Federated Investors, there was a woman that was brought in that I went for the same job, and she ended up getting it. She was probably in her 40s at the time. I can't even remember her name anymore. And that's how long it's been. But I had been the trader on the floor, and I had taken over for this other guys that was there, and I had been in the position for about 6 months, almost a year, somewhere in that area. And then they brought another person in, and I had to train this person how to do everything. And I kind of resented that, because I wanted to be that go-to person. And my pride obviously got in the way, And then I ended up eventually leaving that job because my second marriage failed. But in the end, the only person that I can blame is me. All of this stuff that's happened in my life is because of me. The blame that I have to get through is, I finally had to let all the blame go and just stop blaming others for things that's happened in my life. Now, fast forward up to 2002, and between 1997 and 2002, I was trading and doing okay and doing pretty good with it and making some money, and I got involved, and I ended up making $250,000 for this individual, and then he took off to Costa Rica or some godforsaken place with every bit of not only my money, but everyone else's money as well. And then finally he gets indicted. I think he came back to New York because he was broke, because he went through all that money that he pretty much embezzled. I started with $10,000 and traded it all the way up to that level. And it took me a long time to recover from that type of environment, because I had started with nothing, and then I worked my way up to this level, and I was getting paid 10,000 for every 15 days. I was getting 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 coming in, and then all of a sudden it just dried up. Where did the money go? And find out that the dude was running a Ponzi scheme behind the scenes, and I was the legitimate person that was running. It took a long time for me to recover from that as well. So, and then fast forward to 2002, I start with Watkins. On one side, I needed to make money because we found out that my wife was pregnant and we were getting ready to have our first child. Now, my first child came into life, and he was a preemie and born 2 months too early, and we almost lost him the very first day of his life. And it was very, and my second son, if he wasn't born cesarean, we would have probably lost him too, because his umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck twice, and that would have caused a distress birth most likely. So both of our children have been gifts from God, and we decided to stop after 2. Now, we do support a girl in India through the James Connection, which is very important to me. But it's 2002 was when I started really working a business called Watkins, and we were top consultant in the business, and at that point in time, I think it was about 50,000 associates, and we walked across the stage in Vancouver, British Columbia, and we were the #1 associate over all of Watkins, and it was a great honor. That I've never experienced success to that degree, with everyone clapping and being honored in that sense. In 2000, well, actually ended up being the year of 2002, 2003, and we got our award in 2003. I've been to trips through that company, our primary company, because of the business that we were in, and we've been in now 11 years, and I kind of put it to the side in 2007. But my very first year, we earned a trip to Ireland. I couldn't go because our youngest son was fighting for his life. It's just a place that I want to go. I've never been to Ireland. I'm Irish, and I've never been to Ireland. I would love to go. One of my all-time favorite movies is The Quiet Man with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. Just awesome movie. Even colorized. Kind of watching the 15-minute mark right now, so I don't go over 15 minutes and kind of wrap this up. But then we got to go to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, and San Diego, and my wife for my 40th birthday. We went to Las Vegas for the first time in my life, and then things were going good in Watkins, and then I just stopped building it because I let corporate policy get in the way. They made a change in internet policy, and they made a change in the way you have to market this and market that, and it just seems like everywhere you turn, they're putting their hands out. They start putting products in the Cracker Barrel. They put products in Walmart, and I remember going into Walmart with a black marker and marking an X on the bottom of vanilla and then putting it towards the back to see if it would move, and it never would move. So are they making money in this brand awareness philosophy that they're in? I don't think so. But, they need to get back to their #1 concern, and that's the associate. And I think Marc Jacobs is finally on the right road after I see the apology letter that he came out with. I think that maybe they'll correct the wrongs that have been made, and they'll move forward in what ends up being an awesome business. I mean, we're talking about a company that's been around since 1868, and that's not really what I want to talk about here. So in my last minute of talking, I've been full circle with you. I've been full circle. I'm right at that edge of success right now. And I know it. I mean, for once in my life, I can sit back and I can see that with consistent effort that I've been applying every day, and like you see, if you go back and look at YouTube, I put a video out every day since July 25th. And I'm going to continue to put a video out for a full year. And that's my plan right now. Unless I get deathly ill and I can't do it, I'll get my wife to put the video camera on one of my sons. I'm going to continue to put out a video every day, and I'm going to share my story. My story, I hope it has a happy ending to it. I mean, right now it has a happy ending with my family. I mean, I'm married. I got 2 great children, and we're in a welfare type of world right now that we've lived in. And that's about all I have time for today. 15-minute mark. Bye now.